Danganronpa.
It's a fairly plain design, but honestly I think that's quite befitting of the first game's plucky protagonist. One of Makoto's main traits is that he's nothing remotely that special, so his swimsuit shouldn't really be anything major. I do like, however, that its colours replicate the brighter aspects of his original design. 7 out of 10. Of all the characters in the game who could have been stuck with the Speedo look, I'm glad it was Taka. Unfortunately, this also means that his design, other than the very befitting whistle around his neck, isn't anything major. 6 out of 10. This is a really good look for Byakuya. It's really fitting with his personality and status, and he wears it well. 8 out of 10. Unfortunately, Mondo's outfit is exactly what I expected it to be. It's unfortunate because I was hoping the game would do more given how extra his 10th anniversary do was, but that left me a little disappointed with this one. It's not bad though, and it does work with him. 5 out of 10. It's a pretty plain and simple design with no real outstanding aspects, but it really fits Leon's character and he does well with it. 6 out of 10. This is honestly pretty hilarious because this isn't what I was expecting from Hifumi. I was expecting to have a shirt or something, but I'm glad he doesn't because that could be considered fat shaming in my eyes. The pretty pudgy princess image on his shorts was, for whatever reason, not what I was expecting though, and I think it looks great. 7 out of 10. I've had my differences with Hiro, but I have to admit that this design really does suit him and his character. I really love the little alien pattern on his shorts. 8 out of 10. This has got to be my favourite design in the entire selection of these characters. The main reason is because it really suits Chihiro's character. He's sporting some very boy-like shorts, but also a very girl-like crop top. The design doesn't prioritise masculinity or femininity, but instead creates a well-done balance of the two. This was probably the best they could have done for Chihiro, and I'm so glad he got his justice in this game. 10 out of 10. I feel like Sayaka is so underappreciated and so berated that we fail to recognise just how beautiful she is. I mean, look at this, she's so gorgeous. 10 out of 10. Kyoko is among, if not the top of the characters that can sport a really plain and slightly bare-bones design but look absolutely beautiful while doing it. The dark swimsuit clashing with her bright hair and also not sporting anything too outstanding just like her original design makes her look absolutely ravishing. 10 out of 10. I know it seems like I'm just dishing out 10s at this point, but the DR1 girls are just that amazing looking with their designs, and Hina in particular is really good. One of the things I love about some of these swimsuit designs is a subversion of the colours I'm used to the character sporting. Hina, for instance, is usually associated with red or blue, but here she's wearing a deep yellow bikini, and my god does she look amazing in it. Also, it's hard to see, but she does have some slight abs, which is something I wish to see on most of these girls. 10 out of 10. We have to talk about these two at once because they kind of have the same swimsuit with just one difference in that Toko wears the skirt while Genocide Jill does not. This makes sense and it's pretty clever in design since Toko has usually always worn long dresses and skirts in her previous designs, to cover up the tally marks Jill engraved on her legs from her kills. Jill obviously wouldn't care about that, so she feels no need to wear the skirt, and given that Jill is slightly more outgoing and sociable than Toko, she wouldn't have as much of a problem showing off more skin either. It really does make a lot of sense, and the design itself is overall very solid. 9 out of 10. I wouldn't go as far to say this is bad, but this style and colour is not what I expected or would have liked to see on Sakura. She's still pretty, but I think there's more potential here. 6 out of 10. In a sense, this is a very, very clever design of a swimsuit, since it's almost as if Celeste's original dress was turned into a bikini, and it's incredibly fitting as a result. Still, it's not out of any expectation. 8 out of 10. This is probably the most ingenious design out of every swimsuit in the game, so hear me out. One of the things Junko is the most well known for in Danganronpa's world is she always defies expectations, most of the times in ways that leave people dissatisfied or unhappy. What could be more dissatisfying to a regular hormonal teenager, which most of the DR1 cast are, on a summer trip than a busty beauty arriving to the beach wearing a cheap one-piece school swimsuit with nothing remarkable about it? It's so clever and such a smart move on the designer's part that perfectly encapsulates Junko's character. 10 out of 10. I love the swimsuit design and I think Mukuro looks wonderful in it, but I still stand by my complaint that she deserves to be her own person in this game and not disguised as Junko. 9 out of 10. Monokuma looks less like a lifeguard in this design and more like a McDonald's drive-thru employee. Still, I didn't expect Monokuma to get a swimsuit at all, and this does fit his character, so whatever. 5 out of 10.
Danganronpa.
Like Makoto, this outfit is fairly simple. Unlike Makoto, however, it really doesn't replicate the coloration of the original design and instead provides Hajime with something more vibrant and original, and I think it looks pretty good on him. 9 out of 10. I just in general think this is a really solid look for Nagito. It's a nice diversion from his original style while also keeping some of the things that made his original design unique, namely the pattern on his hoodie is transitioned over, but in a new, quite dashing colour. I also like how he and Hajime have contrasting blue-red dynamics with their design. 10 out of 10. I mean, it obviously has to be the same as Byakuya's design, but the colours of the hoodie are inverted. It makes sense, but I do believe the original Togami does it better in this case. 7 out of 10. Is this really the best you could give Gundam? This is such a simple design for someone with Gundam's personality. He deserves something far more impressive. Yeah, I get that Makoto has the same thing, shorts of a symbol colour with his symbol on it, but that makes sense for Makoto given that he's naturally quite bare bones, whereas Gundam is the complete opposite. Honestly, this is kind of a letdown. 4 out of 10. Can Kazuichi just naturally pull off any vibrant colour? First in DR2 his outfit was a vibrant yellow, and then DR3 he had a deep blue outfit. Now he's sporting these neon green trunks and it looks good on him. Please tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this is a really good way of transitioning his original design while also adding some originality. Also those abs though. 8 out of 10. I don't think it's anything great, but I like the rose patterns and the clash of the dark shirt with the bright shorts. Honestly, this is a pretty good outfit sporting a Teruteru's moniker. 7 out of 10. Again, I kind of expected Nekomara to wear the Speedo, and I like the fact that he kept the chain on, but overall the outfit doesn't have an awful lot of uniqueness. 6 out of 10. There's really not an awful lot to this design, but I think white shorts and a gold chain are a really good look for Fuyuhiko. He doesn't really need anything more than this to look super good on the beach. 8 out of 10. We did see this outfit in DR2, but it was CG and not a sprite, and at least she's not covered in blood this time. The colours and patterns are a little plain for Akane, but she still looks pretty good in this outfit. 7 out of 10. This swimsuit already has a CG and sprites in the original DR2, but now we get to see more of them, and just as well because this plain white swimming outfit looks wonderful on Chiaki. She's just super adorable like this and I can't ask for anything more. 10 out of 10. I have to give Sonya the score she deserves here. While I am surprised she isn't showing off nearly as much leg skin as I thought she would, I have no complaints to this. The colour is a good colour alongside her hair and the swimsuit itself looks splendid on her. 10 out of 10. I never thought in a million years that Hiyoko would look good in green, but I've never been more happy to be wrong. I'm also glad, and I can't speak for everyone here, that she's wearing a two-piece and not a school swimsuit like Junko, because she deserves more than that. 9 out of 10. I'm so tempted to sing the Brian Hyland song but change the yellow in the lyrics to blue. Word cannot describe just how much I love this simple pattern design on my all-time best girl. Mahiru looks absolutely angelic with this outfit and I've basically fallen for her all over again. 10 out of 10. All things considered, I'm really satisfied with this outfit. We all know what Spike Chunsoft and DR's writers like to do to Mikan, so I was very concerned with whatever swimsuit she got, it was going to turn out to be really skimpy and barely covering anything. I am glad that this is a lot more modest than I thought it would be, and I thank the creators for giving us something more normal. However, it is still a string piece that has a likely chance of coming undone, so I am expecting a few wardrobe malfunctions in the game. Other than that, my only real complaint is that I kind of want more than just a plain white design. I think a deep purple or even deep red would work well on her as opposed to this. 8 out of 10. This is the design I expected for Ibuki and it works really well for her, so while my expectations weren't defied, this is still among the better designs out of the selection we have. 10 out of 10. We all just need to take a minute to appreciate how gorgeous Peko looks in a plain black two-piece, because this lady looks absolutely exquisite. Even the most simple designs can bring out the best in characters, and while we did see this in DR2, we never got the sprite we needed. She just looks great like this, that's all I can say. 10 out of 10. Izuru has a different swimsuit to Hajime for some reason, but I guess it does make sense. A bright, vibrant swimsuit like the one Hajime has wouldn't work on him. Hajime's is still better in my book though. 5 out of 10. Usami and Monami have always had the adult-child dynamic in their designs. For example, in the regular designs, Usami has a skirt while Monami wears a diaper, and that dynamic carries over in these designs too, which I really appreciate. Still, the outfits themselves aren't anything outstanding. 5 out of 10. Is it just me, or is Kamaru ever so slightly chubby in this? It's the first time Kamaru's midriff has ever been shown in a sprite, so it's the first time we've ever seen her bare belly like this. This isn't a complaint, by the way. If anything, I've been wanting to see some chub on the girls. Regardless, this is another example of a plain design pulled off extraordinarily well, since the plain yellow outfit makes Kamaru look delightful. 10 out of 10. About what I expected from Masaru. Like Nagito, I like how he carries patterns from his OG design into this one, but he doesn't really do it as well. His design is kind of basic. 6 out of 10. I like this transition. The outfit and hoodie has originality, but it still bases itself off Jata's original design and I like how they do it. 8 out of 10. She's just too cute. This design is just super adorable and Kodako pulls it off wonderfully. She was honestly the one who I expected to wear a one piece, so showing this much skin is surprising, especially given her backstory. But it really does fit her though, and I wouldn't think of changing it. 10 out of 10. Honestly, there's not much to this. The colour and pattern fits Nagisa totally, but I do wish there was a little bit more than whatever this is. Nagisa is a much deeper character than this outfit gives him credit for. 5 out of 10. It's a really simple design with nothing outstanding besides the skirt, but Monika looks really cute wearing this, and I think that alone is enough. Besides, Junko had a fairly basic design too, so Monika having one isn't out of the question. 8 out of 10. I've always believed, as much as I really don't like him and wish he wasn't in this game, that Kurokuma has always had one of the best designs out of all the Monokumas. But as much as I believe that, and as much as I love the addition of the water gun in this design, this is honestly kind of lazy. The gun and the glasses don't count as part of the swimsuit, they're just accessories. In summary, literally all they did was give him orange trunks. 3 out of 10. This, however, is somehow even worse because this straight up is not a swimsuit. Shirokuma is literally just wearing a hat and a floaty. This is probably my least favourite of all the designs in this. 1 out of 10. I have to add here that I'm rather disappointed that based on the scans, it seems unlikely that Yuta and Taichi from Ultra Dispergos are getting in the game, since I believe they both deserve some spotlight that they're now giving Hiroko. I also don't consider myself to be attracted to older women, but I am forced to admit that like with Mikan, I did expect something worse with Hiroko's swimsuit, and this was a pleasant subversion of my expectations because I think she looks great. 9 out of 10. Maybe I'm being a bit biased with my scoring here, but had Shuichi not been wearing the hoodie, I would have been a bit disappointed. Also, am I the only one that thinks this is a surprisingly good look for Shuichi given that the colours aren't his typical dark style? I never thought Shuichi could rock a white hoodie and dark blue shorts, but here I am being proved wrong. 10 out of 10. Honestly, I did expect this of Kaito's outfit, and I am a little let down that this is it really. Sure, it does look good, as he's had the space pattern that he usually has on the inside of his coat, but speaking of his coat, one thing I was expecting that he, like Shuichi or Nagito, would have a hoodie in his design that he hung loosely around his shoulders like he does in his original design. C'est la vie. 6 out of 10. He literally looks like a tiny sailor, like they straight up ripped him out of a Popeye cartoon or something. It looks really funny for some reason, but I also like the fact that they have the stripes and the inmate appearance of his original design in this. 7 out of 10. Call me crazy, but I actually seriously love the colour of Rantaro's shorts. The pink-red rose colour is a wonderful clash with his avocado green hair, and while the design is kind of simple, Rantaro has never been known to have the most over-the-top appearance. He's kind of just a casual guy, so he's deserving of a casual attire. 9 out of 10. Oh, Gonta, there's nothing wrong with your swimsuit, but is this really the most justice they could do you? It looks so, I don't know, plain? 4 out of 10. Okay, I'm glad he doesn't have abs anymore, but where did his white coat go from the thing? Like, I love the shorts pattern as well, but is this really it? This is all we get of our Clown Prince of Lies? It's not totally disappointing like Gundam's was, and like I said, thank god he doesn't have abs anymore, but even still, is this the best they could do for Kokichi? 5 out of 10. Yes. Why put Kyo in shorts like the rest of them when we could give him this extremely fitting wetsuit? Like, seriously, how come I didn't think this was a good idea? This is literally the perfect direction you could have gone in for Kyo especially. 10 out of 10. I don't know how to rank this one. Like, Kibo, freaking, oh my god. Why did I expect any differently? I'm nervous to give him a high score because he's doing basically the exact same thing as Shirokuma. For now, I'm just gonna leave it at a 5 out of 10 because I'm so indecisive. Kirumi, Kyoko, and Pekka have exactly the same reason for getting their scores, and Pekka and Kyoko only slightly put it off better. My only complaint I have with Kirumi sporting this is that she doesn't appear to have the spider pattern she had on her dress before, which was one of her most notable features in her original design. Maybe it is there and I just can't see it due to low res, but I'm fairly sure that this is all you need to make Kirumi look damn sexy during summertime. 9 out of 10. I know for a fact that Himiko doesn't like the ocean, so maybe there's a reason her swimwear looks like this. I don't hate it, but I think Himiko might look better in one piece, and maybe I'd like a bit more context as to why it looks like this of all things. Maki is so attractive in this outfit. It's the perfect shade of red and it's everything she deserves. Honestly, while a lot of these girls look stunning in colours I'm not used to seeing them in, had Maki had anything else than this red, I think I would have been a little disappointed. 10 out of 10. Pink was not what I expected on Tenko. I was honestly expecting something similar to Ibuki but with light blue and green instead of blue and pink, and I'm honestly a little upset and disappointed we didn't get that. On top of that, she's showing an awful lot of skin, maybe just as much as Mikan, since that swimsuit looks like it doesn't fit her, which I didn't expect from her. Still, you won't be hearing any major issues on my behalf, since I still like this design somewhat. 7 out of 10. Yes, yes, and more yes. I adore the yellow swimsuit with Samugi's dark blue hair. I was expecting something plain and white like what Mikan got with Samugi, and I'm so glad we didn't. Not even Team DR are willing to take their plain jokes that far. She looks so goddamn sublime. 10 out of 10. I'm fairly certain that all they did for Angie's appearance was take off her coat. I mean, it makes sense, and she does kind of wear swimwear all the time, so I think that even though there's no real uniqueness or originality to this one, it was the obvious direction to go in, so I have no real comment on it. 6 out of 10. Okay, this was a good one. I was really hoping that Miyu in particular would fit her character to a T, and if it didn't, I think I would have been rather let down. This is extremely satisfactory though, since leopard print absolutely works for her. Overall, I think she looks superb. 9 out of 10. Kaede, please marry me. She looks so friggin... I don't even know how to describe it. That's the extent of how enticing, foxy, and sublime she looks in this sky blue swimsuit. It looks so good on her, words can barely describe it. Kaede was one in particular who I set high expectations for, and I can gladly say they were exceeded above and beyond. 10 out of 10.